Scene 2, take 1.
My name is Tim Keating. About 35 years ago, I moved to Los Angeles from Hartford, Connecticut. And I had cut my teeth for 10 years there and learned about urban tree planting, remarketing the city through the arts, things like that. And I chose to move to Los Angeles in 1982 because I thought that world culture would evolve on this stage before anywhere else. And I, as an American artist, wanted to participate in that venture. I spent my first few months in Echo Park before I moved down here. But the scene in downtown was really what drew me. It was the Al's Bar scene. It was the concentration of artists in a neighborhood where they were paying 25 cents a square foot. It was a ridiculous and wonderful time. There were drum circles at night, rock and roll on the roof. It was an artist vibe that we were in charge of taking over a neighborhood and making it our own. It was a heady time. When I first got here, I was, looking around, trying to find a new girlfriend. So I started dating a girl who lived across the street from the American Hotel and Al's Bar. And it was like, wow, what a neighborhood. I want to be here. That's what drew me here, is the preponderance of other artists that I could collaborate with, and we could hatch plots and make trouble. Al's Bar was kind of a bacchanalia. You could do anything you want here. There's no boundaries. There's no sense of what's proper. There's music, there was nudity, there was drunkenness. And the artist's role in society is trying to figure out what's acceptable behavior. We're trying to push the edge. We're trying to expand what you can possibly do as an artist to make the culture larger, to explore uncharted territory. That's our role in the planet, I think. Al's Bar personified that. It was a wonderful, brilliant stew pot to be in. I went there less and less as I got older, and my girlfriend moved back in with me, and we were more of a family. We also had a building called the Vignes Art Building that was like 20 units in a roof garden. So we oftentimes would congregate on the roof in the Arts District and make our own music, have our own booze. It was cheaper. At that time, this was a burgeoning, evolving arts community with over 15 individual galleries. It was a thriving scene. The city council, in its wisdom, pushed all the homeless in downtown into the Arts District for 4 months. That same 4-month period saw the 15 galleries in downtown Los Angeles all move to the west side, to Santa Monica, to La Brea. Too many cars got broken into. The wealthy people who buy art on the west side. That's where the gallery scene is now. We're trying to bring it back. This is a mistake that can be fixed and will be fixed eventually, and we're actively seeking to do that. 12 years ago, Jonathan Jerald, Lucy Jensen, and I, all artists in the Downtown Arts District, we set up LADADSpace, Los Angeles Downtown Arts District Space. We're trying to build an artist-dense community similar to the Left Bank in Paris, similar to Greenwich Village, similar to Soho, a place where artists and filmmakers and writers can collaborate and enjoy each other and live cheaply. We have taken a leadership urban planning position in this neighborhood. We've conducted 3 urban design charrettes where the stakeholders of the neighborhood get to say how we wish to see this neighborhood evolve in the future. For instance, Michael Moulton is building an arts amphitheater under the 6th Street Bridge. SCI-Arc is potentially building another outdoor amphitheater north of the 1st Street Bridge with a gallery. There is a graduation pavilion at SCI-Arc that could be utilized for concerts. Someday we could do a Bloom Fest or an event here, just like Jazz Fest in New Orleans, where you have a blues stage, you have a rock and roll stage, you have a hillbilly stage, you have anything you want. You play all the music on the planet in one day. The nonprofit LADADSpace is actively involved in cultural planning and evolution of the physical reality of the neighborhood. With there are over 50 public murals painted on buildings in the Arts District by world-class artists, we were going to take a curatorial responsibility for that, for advancing it, for continuing it, to evolve it. So we're really about the entire cultural life of the neighborhood, and we wish to be a central focus for its future evolution. We also manage filmmaking in the neighborhood. And in the last 12 years, we've raised over $500,000 money from the film industry to spend on the arts in the arts district. The beauty of the arts in Los Angeles is really based on visual art, painting, filmmaking, television. We have made it a sustainable resource in the downtown arts district, especially Jonathan Jerald, working with the film industry. All the stuff goes together. It's all about a cultural and a neighborhood master plan.
Tell me if it's all right. Tell me it's all right if I can come out now.
They want blast!
Theater is always a major component to both Al's Bar and to the neighborhood. There have always been a lot of actors in this neighborhood, people like Mike Wiles, people who are kind of known actors.
Hank, no offense, but I think you're really reaching.
You look exactly like you did when you played Mary Magdalene on Broadway.
The mix is really crucial. The mix between theater artists and media artists and visual artists. When I first got here, the rents were so cheap that you could be a sculptor or a painter and you could have a big loft and you could do work and not sell it because you didn't have to pay that much in rent. Nowadays, the only people who can really afford to live here are people who make their money in auxiliary art positions. I made all my money working in the art department of feature films and television shows. I was an on-set prop guy for Ally McBeal. 5 years, I made real money. I bought a condo, or I would be gentrified out. Very few artists make a living selling paintings or selling sculpture. You have to find another way to make an auxiliary living. Los Angeles is the size of the state of Connecticut. This neighborhood, 1st to 7th, Alameda to the LA River, is a walking distance neighborhood. It's perfect scale for bicycling or walking, and it's becoming more and more livable. Unfortunately, that does cause some gentrification, but as long as we keep a fair number of affordable artist units, we might be able to control the evolution of the neighborhood into a greater and better urban village based on the arts. The artists have made this desirable. We've humanized a part of the city that was really abandoned in the 70s, and we brought it back to life and made it in the likeness of ourselves, the kind of neighborhood we want to see. It's hard to say whether 20 years from now that'll still be here. I hope so. Gentrification happens in every community. For every new housing development that happens, there needs to be at least 20% affordable artist housing in the downtown arts district, or we don't let anybody build anything anymore. I think that's an absolute democratization of the neighborhood that we are interested in achieving. It's a great urban neighborhood. I want to live here. I'll probably die here, and I can't think of a better place to do it on the planet.
Okay.